Will.
I'm Christy.
And this is Pumbaa Dog.
After years of overlanding across the United States, we decided to hang up 𝐬𝐵𝐺𝐸 and move full-time into imaging our 21-foot travel trailer.
Our goal is to set up base camp in different regions of the U.S. and explore the areas around us. We invite you to join us as we share our adventures of full-time living. In the last episode of Full-Time Living, we explored around the Petrified National Forest in the Painted Desert of New Mexico. After that, it was time to load up the camper and head into one of my favorite places in the world, which is Moab, Utah. We met up with the Van fam, Kurt, Jen, and their two boys, just south of Moab, and we ended up spending about a month or two in and around the entire area of Moab. One of the things I've really come to enjoy about traveling around in the RV is the length of time that we get to stay in places. Being able to set the RV up as a base camp and really take our time to explore the areas around us has been really nice. For instance, when folks come to Moab, they might not ever see this little water area here or some of the other petroglyphs. They might only spend their time in Arches or Canyonlands or even Sand Flats Recreation Area, when in reality, there's tons to explore all around the area. So we do just that whenever we set up in these places. Little pro tip though, whenever you are off-road and exploring the areas around you, be sure to wrap up anything that might break along the way. Man, my Valentina busted open down here in the box and spilled absolutely everywhere. Dang. That is no bueno, guys. That's the good sauce too. Throwback Thursday. It is 2021 and I'm headed to Sand Flats Recreation to go hit some of the coolest trails that Moab has to offer. And the last time I've done this was in 2017. Whenever Christy and I were on the trip along the Trans-America Trail, and we stopped here. And then the time before that, I stopped in 2016. So yeah, it's been a while since I've been out here, and man, this is one of my favorite places ever. I absolutely love Moab, and I really love the Sand Flats Recreation Area. These are some really cool trails to hit, particularly if you're alone. There's enough people out here in this recreation area that if something were to go wrong, the chances of you being helped out are a lot greater versus if you go out in some of the desolate areas out into Utah's wilderness, which are absolutely beautiful, but you know, a lot of times if something happens out there and you're on your own. So we're going to go hang out with Kurt and Jen from Overland Uncharted. They've rented a side-by-side for today, got out the van, they're ready to go play, I'm ready to go play. Let's roll. What's happening, guys? Real quick, I want to interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring to you today's sponsor, 𝐶 Medical. One of the hardest things about traveling full-time is being able to see the doctor or get simple medication. A lot of times all you need for a minor sickness is just some antibiotics. Now, I'm not a doctor, so obviously you're going to want to consult with a doctor or somebody that knows what they're talking about. It's super simple. All you got to do is go online. You have an actual online consultation with an actual doctor who gets down all your information, and then he writes you a prescription for some common antibiotic. But 𝐶 Medical not only gives you all the antibiotics, but they also give you this antibiotic guide that tells you how and when to use the antibiotics. Check them out, the link down in the description. By clicking on that link, you do help support the channel, so I appreciate it a lot. Now let's get back to the video. So the first thing we're gonna start off doing is going on fins and things, where we're just gonna kind of circle around this whole Sand Flats Recreation, and then we're gonna hit Hell's Revenge later on, hopefully. I'm probably gonna go hit it either way, because later on in the afternoon it gets pretty cool. We can see people playing in the hot tubs, different things like that. So that's one of the beauties about coming out here, is because of the amount of people that are out here kind of playing around on the rocks, you get to see some really cool rigs, and you get some experience kind of watching people that have been out here playing their whole lives sometimes. So it's pretty cool nonetheless. You can also watch what people do to make sure that you don't do that. One thing is for certain, the off-road capabilities of a stock 5th gen Toyota 4Runner are nothing less than absolutely impressive, particularly those of the TRD, TRD Pro, and Trail models. If you haven't seen some of my other videos of the off-road adventures I've taken Apple on, I invite you to go check those out and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. At any rate, Apple is completely stock with the exception of a few minor upgrades. One, I've upgraded the tires. They're still stock size, but they're all-terrain. These are General Grabber ATX. I've had BFG KO2s, and I've done tire reviews on the other tires that I've had. Also, in this particular video, I've actually taken off the sway bars. So Apple came equipped with KDSS suspension, which allowed for better articulation whenever it came to the sway bar. I actually took it off to see how well it did, and while it feels a little better off-road, it doesn't feel as good on-road, and I really can't tell that much more of a flex difference. So I'd recommend leaving the KDSS on. I've also cut the bumpers like you see here in the video, and that's just simply for some more clearance because going on some of these trails, I've actually knocked the bumper loose. With that said, there's still one more bumper mod that I need to make, so might as well go ahead and do it, right? Now, before we get into this next mod, let me give you a little bit of a backstory. There was a gentleman on Instagram, something along the lines of TRD Calvary or something like that, that had made mention of a specific obstacle on Hell's Revenge that happens to be pretty tough. I had said that I think that I could make it up it completely stock, and he challenged me to it. So I went out there and I tried it, and well, here's the results. So this actually looks a whole lot worse than it is. Throughout the years of thrashing this bumper around different obstacles, I've actually broke the tabs, and therefore whenever I hit obstacles, it comes loose like this. I call it a quick release bumper. It just pops right back into place for now. You're right, I couldn't make it up at stock. Almost. Well, if I'd had a little bit more traction, I might have made it. Well, the overlook of Moab, Hell's Revenge, and it is Throwback Thursday. What better way to celebrate Throwback Thursday than having a beer in the same exact spot I did like 5 years ago? Cheers. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Full-Time Living. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to join us on the next episode as we explore Canyonlands, take a trip to Mexican Hat, and I put Apple in some more sticky situations in Moab. I really appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like it, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, you guys keep hanging in there like a hair on a biscuit. And remember, you can be happy if you've a mind to. Peace, y'all.